Could you tell us who you are and your film?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am Erin Doyle Cooper. I am the writer, director, and one of the executive producers, along with Allison Tolman, of a Western horror short film called The Invaders. So I am obsessed with Westerns and with horror and folk horror. I've spent a long time researching the American West and what it was really like, because the typical white male cowboy saves the day Western that we all have seen isn't really the whole story. The West was one of the most diverse places in American history, and I really wanted to write something that addressed that.
So tell me where it took place.
Yeah. So it takes place in 1852 on the California Trail, which is just it splits off of the Oregon Trail. So it is a pioneer campsite, and these pioneers have stumbled into a place that they should not be, and something goes terribly wrong.
I'm Catherine Lurkey, and I'm the director of Sand Mama, a short film.
Okay, tell us about your film.
My film is kind of like a magic realism, sort of meditation on motherhood and identity. It's basically about how all-consuming motherhood is for women. She's experiencing this, I've loss of identity from having whoever she was before, now that she's like a wife and mother, and they take a family beach trip and she does something weird. Luckily, we have festivals like this to be at least like, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an artist, I have that piece of my identity that's like a North Star, because I feel like everything else is like up in the air now.
My name is Shira Meishar. I'm a director of The Most Beautiful Day, a short film.
And I'm Lihi Sabag, and I'm the producer of The Most Beautiful Day. This is the inspiration, Shira. We work together a lot. She's a director, and we work together since school. And it was our first project together. And I love the story, and I love what it tells. It was a great opportunity to do a great project together.
Tell me about your film.
Wow, it's about a nurse in a last day in her work before she
retires. Yeah. It's her last day before she retires, and she wanted to have small party with her colleagues and to say goodbye, but a very important person is coming to the hospital, and everyone's like forgetting her and forgetting her day. And she's left out, and no one remembers, she's leaving after 30 years of working there.
Yeah. What inspired you to write this?
It's like a dream. I just write, but also I deal with a moment of solidarity between people. Yeah, I don't know exactly. It's like association, it's to write it.
Yeah, step by step. And how long did it take you to write this film?
1 year, I think.
The writer and director of the film Nisei. Nisei. Yeah.
Nisei.
Yeah.
And I'm Connor Bodell. I'm the cinematographer of Nisei.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about your film.
So it's a short film. It's about the Japanese Americans during World War II who were placed in the internment camps on the West Coast. And it's a very personal story. It's about my grandfather who was put in the camps, and from the camps he actually volunteered for the United States military and went and fought over in Italy. And it's the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and it became one of the most medaled units in the history of the United States military. So,
what is the meaning?
So Nisei in Japanese means second generation, and that was what a lot of the people in the camps were referred to, because my grandfather, amongst hundreds of thousands of other, they were the firstborn immigrants that came from Japan. And so it was this kind of blend of cultures of, my great-grandfather being from Japan and being 100% Japanese, and then meanwhile my grandfather, who was born here, feeling betrayed by the company or the country that he was born in, and then basically saying go back to Japan. And at the end of the day, America was his home. And so it's this kind of really heartbreaking story about figuring out where he belongs in the world and what he needs to do to prove himself. So.
Hi, I'm Thea Pereira. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm the director, writer, producer of our documentary, Paul and Tricia, The Art of Fluidity. And I also that's a feature-length doc that we have here at CineQuest, and then I also have my short film, Mermaid, as well. So I'm very honored to have two films in this festival.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, tell me about the film.
Yeah, so Paul and Tricia, The Art of Fluidity is a 75-minute documentary about this marvelous Paul and his alter ego, Paul Whitehead and his alter ego, Tricia Van Cleef. And it's really about this his Paul and Tricia's iconic life as an artist, and then also the fluidity of their gender, and also how that translates into these two different ways of painting. So it's pretty wonderful, the documentary, and Paul will be able to tell you more about it.
Hi.
Yeah.
Well, I basically make two completely different bodies of work. One as a male and one as a female. And they're very contrasting. We very often have shows together. We share a gallery. And a lot of times people don't realize it's not two different people.
What I loved about working with Paul and working on this documentary with both of them is how the messaging is. Doesn't matter if people love you or like you. You have to love yourself and accept who you are. And not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone's going to get you. But you just have to keep moving on in your life, and that's okay if people don't approve of you. And it's also the messaging too is about, you don't have to put yourself in a box. And that's what Paul and Tricia, they don't put themselves in boxes. They're not one thing. Paul and Tricia are gender fluid, and so is their artwork. So it's a message to inspire other artists, other people who are not wanting to come out, being gender fluid or trans or LGBTQ+, whatever. It's really about that message of inclusivity, and we want you to be who you are. And that's what my short film Mermaid is also about, is an 11-year-old trans child. So, I just kind of started doing these LGBTQ+ projects. I'm working on a lot of things, but this has been very interesting because I feel that these films are important to the community.
I'm McCall Sinnott, and our film is Unpacking. I co-wrote it and co-directed it, wrote, produced. I'm also in it.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Sandra.
Should I look at the camera when I talk? I'm Alexandra Clayton. I'm the co-director, co-producer, co-writer. I also act in the film Unpacking.
Hi, I'm Katie Braden, and I'm the line producer, and I acted in the film as well.
Hi, Joseph Schollert. I was a co-writer and also did craft services.
It was definitely a new dynamic. Joseph and I are married, and Alexandra wrote the three of us. And but I didn't think it was challenging. Did you?
I did not. Nope. I'd say over the course of our time working together, we've become like family, and it's been amazing. And we've really learned when to let the other ones have their wins.
I mean, we were shooting in Bali, so we almost the entire crew and cast got Bali belly at some point.
Our AD had a almost died from dengue fever and was hospitalized. It was very
I was diagnosed with cancer right before we shot. Like there was just like a lot of things that happened.
Everyone's okay.
But it's a comedy, and we all made it out on top. Yeah.
Okay. Unpacking is a dramedy. It is about a group of women who go on a wellness retreat to Bali, follow an Instagram guru to unpack their inner demons.
And how long did it take you to complete?
Well, 13 days. We shot it in 13 days. Yeah.
Tell me who you are.
I'm Chelsea Pinello.
And I'm Corbett Blair.
Nice to meet you. Tell me what brings you here.
I wrote and directed a short film called Mandarins. It's in the #1 shorts program called Send-Offs.
Yeah, and I'm the composer for Mandarins.
Tell me about Mandarin.
Basically it's about sort of a black sheep who's been estranged from her family, and she shows up to her mom's funeral and delivers an offbeat eulogy and accidentally ruins the funeral and sends her siblings like scrambling to try and save face at the funeral. It's a drama with some sprinkles of comedy in there. Yeah.
What inspired you to write this film?
I think with most of the stuff that I make, it's always starting with like a personal theme or feeling, and so I at the time was thinking about the concept of forgiveness, and specifically within the realm of intergenerational trauma and forgiveness as a means to sort of transcend that. And so this film is sort of an exploration of intergenerational trauma, how it plays out within a singular family, and sort of rumination on what you can do to sort of end the cycle.
Yeah, nice. And where are you from?
We're from Washington, D.C.
Welcome.
It was sort of personal. I know you come from a place where it's very much you want more like Asian American representation in movies. So this was cool. It was like pretty much a full Asian cast. I think it was a full Asian cast. Everyone on camera was Asian, and I'm pretty like maybe about half Asian crew, and then even all the extras in the film were bussed in from some bingo group from one of the producers' grandmother's friends. So I don't know. It's been such a cool project to work on.
Very nice. I'm half Asian as well. Yes.
We're all half Asian
Yes.
here. Half us, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Heather Luscombe. I'm the director of Smothered, that's in the Mindbender Shorts category.
My name is Shannon Sullivan. I am the writer, producer, and I play Danny in Smothered.
Could you please explain Mindbender? What does that mean?
Sure. It's the shorts category with kind of like thrillers and like mystery type, surreal short films. Smothered is about a toxic relationship that it's gone wrong. It's at the end of its life, and the boyfriend comes to pick up a painting from his ex-girlfriend, and there's a twist and a turn, and that's Smothered.
That's all you can tell me?
That's all I can tell you without giving away the ending, yeah.
So where are you two from?
We're both living in Brooklyn currently, but we're from California.
Oh, okay. What part of California?
I'm from Ventura.
I grew up in the East Bay.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah. What part of the East Bay?
I actually grew up in Lafayette.
So what inspired you to write this film?
Well, I had a dream one day, and I woke up and I was like, that would make for a very interesting short film. And then I went through a horrific breakup and tried to say something funny with a painful situation. And it's been really cathartic and fun.
Gator Baby is a dark comedy drama about a young woman who meets a man who's been hit by lightning while he was working on a power line, and they fall in love, and she finds out that he's a flat earther, and she's a very non-conservative girl herself, so they kind of have to figure out if their relationship is going to work in the swamps of Florida.
My name is Matthew Boyd, and I'm the director of A Boat for My Brother, a short documentary here at CineQuest. And this is Johnny Oberg, the subject and producer of the project.
How you doing, Bridget? Hi. Yes, it's very nice to be here. Hi, Bridget. How you doing? Yes, and my name is Johnny Oberg. I was featured in the documentary A Boat for My Brother.
Could you tell me the synopsis of your film?
Yes, Johnny's brother passed away at the age of 39 in 2001, and they both have Scandinavian...
2021, sorry.
2021, sorry. And they both have Scandinavian ancestry. Their father was Swedish and actually spoke Swedish to them often. And they also had an affinity, as cinephiles, an affinity for Viking funerals. Eric in particular, who passed away, would comment when they watched TV shows or movies about that had scenes of Viking funerals, would say something to the effect of, "See, that's the way to go out," or "Wouldn't that be amazing?" And they had a traditional Christian burial in the time of COVID, so it was very spread out and
kind of lackluster compared to what he would want, you know. Yeah. So he was nice enough to give his expertise, and it was masterfully created and edited of a live event where we put on a full Viking funeral for my late brother.
What does that look like?
It felt incredible because not only do we have the catharsis of just that giant crowd of all of his family and friends there watching it live on a lake that he grew up on, but then also this like extra amazing cherry on top. He really did a masterful job of creating this documentary experience of feeling like you were there, but also getting more information behind the scenes. Yeah,
I'm just honored by the challenge of putting it together, and now seeing it go out into the world in film festivals and getting into CineQuest has just been a dream. So we're delighted to be here.
And we created 40 real fire arrows. A 14 by 4 foot Viking ship was created to be burnt with a fireworks show on a lake, and speeches, and we all the pallbearers were dressed as Vikings. So it was like an epic event to send off my brother, who always wanted that, like his last wish.
So tell me about your film.
So we have a short film called The Breakup. It's a 4-minute little comedy. We're very proud of it. It was a very quick turnaround. We made it with friends, and it turned out really nicely. So we're very happy about it.
What does the quick turnaround look like?
We shot in not even a full day. I want to say like a 8-hour, maybe 6 to 8 hour day. And Nick did the editing, did pretty much everything. We have a friend who's a brilliant Nick Lado from Exit Days, who's a brilliant musician who did the music for it. And yeah, we made the whole thing pretty quickly.
The thing I like about it is that it starts off, I think when it begins, you think it might be a serious piece, and then it kind of hits you out of nowhere that it's a comedy. So I think that's my favorite part about it, is that, at first we kind of trick the audience into thinking it's this overly dramatic piece that is really, at the end of the day, it's a funny comedy. So
yeah, it's a light piece, but I think sometimes it's nice to see something light and funny, and yeah.
What inspired you to write this film?
So we collaborated with a comedian named Ellis Fleury. He's awesome, young comedian, and so he came up with the original script, and then Nick and him collaborated on what it is now. But yeah, he came up with the idea. It was, I think, loosely based on his own relationship and experience, even though it didn't. So it's called The Breakup. So it's about a breakup. So he was still with his girlfriend when he wrote it, but then they ended up breaking up. So he likes to joke about the fact that he probably projected that onto his own life.
Oh, I see. So tell me who you are.
I'm Ava Akers, and I co-star in No Right Way with Chelsea Bow over here.
Yes. And I'm Chelsea Bow. I'm the writer, director, actor, and producer and editor of No Right Way, which is an improvised movie about half-sisters, and it's family. It's a dramedy. I didn't originally intend on being in front of camera. I wanted to cast someone else, but I kind of realized that the story is loosely based, it's inspired by true events in my life and my half-sister's life, so I figured who knows the role best except me, so I ended up jumping in and acting in the end.
And she did it amazingly.
And you two are truly sisters.
No, we're not.
Now we are.
But now we are, yes.
Yeah.
In spirit.
Essentially, there was no scripted lines. We had an outline. And then all the dialogue was improvised, and Ava just jumped into it fearlessly and brought the character to life in such a beautiful way. So
yeah.
There's a scene that we filmed at a park, and I don't want to spoil too much, but it was the first scene that Chelsea and I filmed together. So it was my first time acting with her as the role of Harper, and it just flowed so well, and we filmed each scene at least 5 times in a row, just trying different things and improvising the whole thing every time. So we just played off of each other, and the second we filmed that scene, I just knew that the whole rest of the shoot is going to be amazing and so fun.
The sisters play Truth or Dare in that scene, so they kind of get up to some mischief.
Yes. Well, my character is very mischievous and sassy, and her name's Georgie, and she's very fierce, and I kind of like to mess with Harper, as sisters do, and I have a bit of resentment towards her in the beginning of the film, so I take that as an opportunity to make her embarrass herself in public in the scene by way of Truth or Dare. So it was really fun. I have a sister in real life, and my sister and I are creating a comedy TV show together that I wrote the pilot script for, so yes.
And could you tell me who you are?
My name is Lynn Moran. I'm executive producer on Orna Banrena, The Queen's Gold.
Nice to meet you. So this is your first time here?
Yes, our first film, our first festival, our first CineQuest, of course. It's fantastic to be here. It's been just such an incredible experience already, meeting so many people. And
so tell me what inspired you?
Me personally, I saw the amount of work that goes in and thought, he really needs a hand with this. So I'm a project manager in another industry and I'm reasonably good at my job, but the film industry is special. It is such hard work, and things just go wrong out of like so many little things can impact everything. So yeah, I jumped in to help and I learned a huge amount.
Right, yes.
And of course, as well as an executive producer, he needed an armourer, and I was qualified to do that, so. Our film is set in the 17th century. We have Cromwell, English soldiers coming over under Cromwell, and so they all carry weapons. So.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Sorry for the oblique comment in there, but.
No, that's perfect. I didn't know that. Yeah. And I think.
My name is Andrew Sloman. I'm a British actor. In Danny Goes On, I play Danny.
Oh, nice, Danny.
My name is Marianne Borgo. I'm a French actress, and I play the part of Lucy in Danny Goes Home.
And my name is Eunice Wilczek, and I play Ellie in the film Danny Goes Home, and I'm right here from the Bay Area.
I mean, there were lots of challenges because we were only a crew of 5 people making the film. So we were on location in Goa. Everything was location sound. You know, no closed sets or anything like that, all guerrilla shooting. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of challenges for the team. But for the cast, we absolutely loved it.
And especially, you know, it was just at the end of COVID time. So reaching the place has been a big problem. Andrew was coming from Japan. I was coming from France. Luckily, I had a business visa and I could fly and join the shoot. It's been wonderful.
And of course, it was during the pandemic, so I could not get and co-locate with the team. So all of my scenes were filmed by me or my boyfriend in the car. And then we were able to get all of the data to Sandeep to incorporate into the film.
The movie is about a burnt-out editor, a video editor called Danny, who's a British guy who travels to the same beach town in Goa, India, where his parents met in the heydays of hippiedom in the 70s. And Sandeep's motivation for it was he had worked with so many editors before, and friends of his he knew had gone through burnouts, you know, working so many late hours as editors. And also, you know, Sandeep had been going to Goa for many years and was very much inspired by the hippie movement and had known a few hippies from the 70s. So Marianne can explain a little bit more.
Sandeep has done already 5 films, and I was lucky enough to be in his first film, Love Wrinkle Free. And he's always inspired by any people he's going to meet, and he's going to adapt a little bit of their life into his story.
He has great ties to the Bay Area. He has several people that he knows in the Bay Area. I'm in the Bay Area. We came here for the 2020 CineQuest Film Festival, and of course it got shut down, and his film was not able to be shown. But we all know him through various different ways, through different meetings, but he does, that's why it was written into the script about some of the things about the Bay Area in San Francisco and San Jose.
And it's the reason that Andrew and myself came, because he said it was a wonderful festival. And, you know, it's magic for us to fly to America and to be here in San Jose.
In the film, Danny, the lead character, part of the plot is about his relationship with his recently deceased mother. And, yeah, my mum had recently passed away when we made the film. And so the photos of Danny and the mum in the film, as you know, a little boy, are actual pictures of me and my mum. And yeah, there's a lot of story I can tell you about that, but a bit too much to say quickly now.
Tell me who you are.
So my name is Chris Taylor. I'm the co-writer and the producer of our short film called Orna Banrena, which is the Queen's Gold in Irish. So it's a short film, and it's showing tomorrow at 9:30 at the Icon Cinema. we made a choice to film most of it in black and white because it's a historical film set during the 1600s. And we kind of wanted to have it very much in a grayscale to begin with, but there's a certain point where we wanted to show that some magic was coming to the world, so then we switched to full color, just to give the audience, you know, a real contrast in between the two worlds that are happening.
What inspired you to write this film?
So for me, it was, I've worked in TV and film for 5 years, so I worked on TV shows, Vikings, Game of Thrones. They were filmed in Ireland. And I really wanted to explore writing for myself. I wanted to get some ideas down because with Irish history, the stories of the fairies really differs from what I've seen before on TV. And being a historian, I wanted to, you know, kind of explore the truth in a way that was entertaining. So it's based on the old Irish tales, the ones that you don't really hear outside of Ireland, but these have been passed down by storytellers for centuries.